The latest version of Power BI, the property names got changed. Okay, say for example, in the table and matrix visual, to configure or to set up the conditional formatting, it is slightly different. So that's why I mentioned it here. And also look here. So in the yesterday's session, I have created this matrix visual. One second. Okay, this is the one. Here, let me just select this matrix visual and I just go to these properties, and then just beneath this values here, and if you scroll down here and look here, show values. The values, you have something called options. Okay, look here. So this is what your axis. This is where we add the columns to the different sections, like rows and columns and values. And rows, which column that needs to be included, and columns, which column needs to be included. That we have seen it yesterday. So in the axis, we do all these things. And here, in the case of format, we have something called values property. If you scroll down here, and you will find options. In the options, you need to, by the options, you can see show values in row groups rather than columns. I just toggle this off. Look here, the sales profit, and I just move this down. If I resize it by increasing the width, look here, you have sales profit. So each segment, sales profit, it shows. Forget about the first one because it has some blank values in it. Hence, we can, you can ignore this part. Okay, in consumer segment, how much sales we made and how much profit made in each category, we can see it here. But I want this, this sales and profit, instead of displaying it here, just convert this as a rows. So sales and profit, sales is a column here. Look here, sales is a column here and profit is also a column. I want to convert these columns into rows. How can I do that? So here in this one, under values property, you have options. In the options, you need to toggle this on. So what will happen is, look here, the sales and profit became rows now. Earlier it was columns, now it became rows. So that is what we can do with this thing. So now if you look at our visual, the visual size became small, and it is very comprehensive one. Though it is small, width wise it is small, the width got reduced, but we can see it, and it encompasses comprehensively all the information, though it is small. Whereas if you enable this off, so if you disable this off, what will happen is you need to scroll across, you can see it. In this case, we have only two measures. If you are using the more than two numerical column quantitative variable, and also if you have multiple categories are there in your in the columns, right? What will happen is you need to keep scroll towards the right side, and that is a painful thing. Instead, you can use this option, right? If you use this option, switch values to one second, switch values in row groups rather than columns, convert columns into rows. So now it is very compact, and you can see everything here. You don't have to scroll towards the right side and all. So it is a bit good. So sales is this one. Okay, the next important option is the conditional formatting. I just move this up. The conditional formatting is slightly different compared to the previous version of the Power BI desktop, and here I just mentioned it here. Okay, and cell elements, here something called cell elements. 1 second, let me just need to expand this visualization, and here we have some visual. I just go to the visual, and cell elements, you have cell elements. Okay, you can, when you expand this one, you will find the sales column and profit. Under cell elements, you will find the quantitative variable name or the column name, sales and not all the column, right? So only these two variables or these two columns are quantitative in nature, whereas category and segment, these two are categorical column, categorical variable, we can say that way, or those columns are categorical in nature. Okay, here only the sales and profit value will get displayed under cell elements. So look here I mentioned. So here if you scroll down, you will find data bars. By default it is off, and all these things are off here. By default it is off, and including the background color, it is off. Okay, and if you want to specify the background color, for this you can toggle this on. You can see the background color here. So the darkest color tells, darkest blue color tells us highest sell, and medium blue color, right? Medium, this one is medium sales. This is a high sale, medium sale, low sale. The background colors helps us to quickly distinguish where we made high sales, where we made moderate sales, where we made lesser sales. With the color background itself we can understand. It is quite evident here, right? You can see that, and just by seeing this you should be able to understand all the values. Background color is dark, which means the sale is more compared to other categories. And the second top selling category is corporate. With the bars we can make out. Or if you wanted to set some condition, based on the condition you wanted to decide, or based on the, or if you want to enforce some rule here. For example, if you click on the FX, make the change under different condition that you define. Okay, and this is specific to this new version. Just you need to keep the cursor over on top of this one, and you can go here and you can specify the thing here. So values only. And if you want to add for example the lowest value, for the lowest value I say red color. Instead of using this color, I say the lowest value red color, because this needs an attention. Okay, you can do it this way. And then the highest value I can say green here. So we don't see green here. Click on more colors, and you can select, click on the green color here, and probably you can select that one. You just double click on this, that's it. You see your green color. So you have a minimum and maximum value. And if you want to have the medium value, right, so click on the add a middle color, and here this is kind of amber sign. Okay, it is not bad, it is okay, but red is, it needs immediate attention. And maybe this also, the amber also needs an attention, not immediately. That is, in the traffic light we have this color, right? Green is you are good to go, and amber is you prepare to stop, and red is stop, something like, right? So I just, you can select your colors here, and click on OK. So look here, it highlights the lower sales with the red color quickly, you can find out. And here the medium one is this one, right? The medium sales, moderate sales, or the high, medium, low sales, we can say classify. That's how we classified it. But here the green color tells us it's good. Okay, and this one 669 And this is also kind of red only, and 857 is amber. Okay, look here, the 527, these are all red color only, but these things are something like this. Okay, it's it puts its own color, right? This is amber, but it's not exactly amber because in the background the brown color is there. So probably to overcome that confusion, we just go here and the presets, what instead of using alternates, you can specify none here. I just say none here. Yeah, even after selecting the none, it shows different colors. Okay, and with this we can match with our rule. So anything is greater than, or 1 second, let me just go to the property and here in the background color, so here we have mentioned gradient and all, right? So here what we can define the rule also. Okay, instead of blindly giving the gradient all the things, right? So in that case what happens, it puts its own colors and all. I don't want those kind of things. Sum of sales, yes, let it be there, sum. And if value is greater than or equal to, you can specify some value. Look here, you have different option, percent or number. Here two options are there. If value is greater than or if value is greater than or equal to, let's say sorry, here 6000 and values, you can define the values less than, greater than or equal to 6000 and less than, let's say we will define the medium size. Okay, the middle one, medium sale. Okay, medium sale. Here I say 7 lakh, anything, right? So between this is my $7 lakh. I need to put, yes, 7 lakhs, and then so here then the color is something like this. Okay, and new rule. So or you can select something like this, if the greater than or equal to, but here less than is not there, you need to put it smartly here. Okay, or we can say like this, anything is greater than 0 and less than or equivalent to, let's say 60,000, right? 60,000, then you say red. Red, and if value is greater than or equivalent to, or greater than, here I just say greater than, number I just selected it, greater than 60,000 and less than, here you decide what based on your condition, right? You can do 7 lakh is called your, yes, something like, you can define more than 2 color also. Usually we use 3 colors only, and anything is greater than or equal to 7 lakh and less than, or anything greater than 70,000. I'm not going to define anything here, I just say green. And if I move this up, and here you need to specify something, for example here we are getting how much, or let's say I'm going to put something like specify some bigger value, and then this one. Okay, and here it shows please check the logic of this rule. Okay, here the percent, right? I made a mistake. Look here, if you specify something wrong here, right, this one will get highlighted. Please check the logic of this rule. So with this you should be able to understand somewhere you made a mistake here. It cannot be percent, it cannot be this big, right? And and then you correct it. I just correct it as I change it to number, and I have given some color. Click on OK. Okay, click on OK. It will take some time. Look here, now we have decent colors, 3 colors. It's not confusing now. When you see the green color, you can make out very clearly, yes, it's all the sale is very good. And look here, here 23 lakh is also there. Something wrong here in the formula, and better you can click on, you just click on it. If you want to say, let's say anything between 25 lakh is also considered as a green. If you specify the wrong logic, it will be a problem. But here 3 lakh 41, so there are certain values it is not showing in color, right? So, and what you do is here, you need to revisit this thing. I will share you this document without fail today, so that you can, what I thought of sharing it yesterday, because after doing the conditional formatting, if I share it with you all, it will make sense. That's the reason I did not share it. Today I will share it for sure. And you go and check, revisit the condition. Why one, like, these things are not profit. I did not select sales here, right? Sorry, I did not select profit. I just applied these settings. These conditions were applied to only which column? Sales. Okay, and we have, apart from sales, we have profit. The profits were not highlighted with the background color. You need to create some rule for profit, like how I did it for sales. For that, you need to click on profit, and you need to go and define the background color, everything. That is an exercise for you all. Okay, try it out. Very simple. This is called conditional formatting. We will take a look at the dynamic conditional formatting later point in time. When I cover DAX, I will cover it, don't worry. So dynamic conditional formatting, they will expect you in the interview question. They will ask you the question, and also that is one of the requirements. Okay, you need to remember it. In the real-time scenario, we need to enable the dynamic conditional formatting. Okay. So hope you understood this one, right? So you have different the formatting options, different formatting options are available. But here the cell elements, if you click here, look here, the background color itself, you have something called gradient, and then rules and field value is also there. Okay, and try the field value also, and then you get back to me how does it works. Okay. So we did the conditional formatting. Similarly, we can do cell values, cell elements. If you go here, background color, we did it, and similarly you can do it for font color also. You can define the conditions. Font colors. Okay, now the font colors got changed a little bit, and you need to choose the correct font color. If the lowest value, if it is the lowest value, you put some color, maximum. And the color part, I will discuss it later. Okay, when to use what color. But at this moment, you just understand, not only for background color, you can define the conditions. Even for fonts also, you define the conditions. You can create your own rules. Okay, and then you can set some appropriate font color. And for the time being, I'm going to toggle this off. And we have data bars also available. Okay, I just toggle this on, and then I just click on the bar here. Okay, suppose sometimes what will happen, instead of highlighting it in background color, okay, and for example, I'm going to disable this one, and the management, if they say no, I don't need the color thing to be done, simply use the data bars, put the data bars. With the size of the data bars, this is a very small one. Okay, and you can define the condition like how I did it for the background color. Here also you can do it. I'm in a call. I'll call you back. Umar. Sorry. So our direction, everything you can specify it here, left to right or right to left, right? You can define everything. You just explore data bars and font colors, and similarly we have icons. If you enable the icons, you can see the along with the data bars. If they need the icons, with the icons you can quickly make out, right? So and the red is stop, something wrong, and circle is green, and the triangle is something like amber color. Okay, and here it needs immediate attention. We are good, and here we need to see how we can take this to next level, something like that. Okay, amber color, right? So this is the one. With this you should be able, so we can decide, you can this one you need to determine based on the requirements from the customer. But they need a couple of projects, they need the icons. Okay, icons. And in the icons you have different options are available. Look here, you have something like instead of using this one, you can use the up arrow, down arrow, something like that. Okay, and that one also will give you, some people they prefer it like this. So the green, it means it goes up, and it is the sales is good, and this is kind of amber thing, and this is the one different thing has different meaning. Look here, this is literally gone down, and this is gradually going down, and this is kind of, it is not it got something like pass, right? It is not so good, and it is slightly going down, and whereas it has gone down literally. Okay, that's how you need to interpret this one. And you can change the icon also. Different options of icons are available. Okay, and okay, you might be asking this from your experience, which icon can I use it, which one is the best practice, which color should I use it for font, which that and all we will have we will have a separate discussion. At this moment, at least understand the basics. The data bars here, so not the data bars, and here the icons. You see, you have 5 different types of icons. If you have multiple icons also, sometimes it will be confusing, right? So for that, ideally you can have 3 icons. So this one is better, right? So going up, going down, and this is it's not going up or it is not going down, somewhere it's okay, kind of thing. Look here, this is the one, in some project we have used it, so they don't need 4 or more than 3 icons. It was confusing for them, and but Power BI gives all the options. If you need this one, something like good. So right, so even in the in this case, it is kind of, it's not it's down, it's up, but it is something like in between these two, right? This is the one, and with this icon you can easily make out. Okay, and alternating rows was also preferred by some customers, and they want us to give something like alternating rows. In some project they ask this one. You can also recommend them. Okay, you can also recommend them. Look here, now with this option, see, this is the one under row headers. Look here, I thought of showing it to you again yesterday here. I think yesterday we have seen the stepped layout, right? Yeah. In this visual row headers, look here, under row headers we have somewhere banded row color. Okay, banded row color, if I enable on, what will happen? The row header will not get highlighted. So I'm going to disable this up so that we can make out this is column header, row header. This is the row total and column total with this. And here you have alternating rows colors, and yeah, under row headers we have something called stepped layout of banded row color. Okay, and here that is what, oh, let me just go and open the options. Look here, the step layout on here I have given. If I change it to off, see, if I toggle this off, the sales and profit under furniture category, see, even it creates separate column for this. Okay, and if you think I don't need a separate, sales and profit should not, I don't want this to be displayed separately, then you can enable the stepped layout on. So we discussed yesterday the matrix features, the features offered by matrix. One of the feature was the stepped layout. So with this we can understand sales and profit is a subcategory of my parent category furniture. Same thing here. Okay, with that we can make out, instead of having a separate column you can have it, but again it depends on the user. If the user find it little bit confusing, so what you can do is you can go and toggle this off, step layout, toggle this off. So you need to remember certain properties also, step layout, and the data bars and icons, and then show values. Show value, this is very important feature. It helps us to convert the columns into rows, the sales and profit, right? That is what. But the show values, as the name suggests, values are nothing but the numeric values. Okay, the show values property works with only the numeric variables, because as the name suggests, show values in row groups. Okay, there is no point in showing the values of category in rows or something like that, right? So this is the one. It's pretty straightforward. So I just put this one because this is in the new version. These are the properties you need to use it, but in the older version it was little bit different. There in the older version, for this show row something, show row something like that. Okay, I don't want to confuse with the older version and newer version. You just go by the newer version. Okay, these are the things, properties, important properties you need to remember. That's all. Okay, and the data bars and icons, you play around with it by defining your own rule, and then you come back with your own thing. And the same thing you can do it with the table also. Okay, I don't want to repeat again because we need to cover many things. And here also the alternating rows, everything the same thing. If you go to cell elements and sales value, background color, you can enable it. And if you want to enable the bar data bars along with background color, you can do it here. Okay, so in that way it is good. But the advantage of background color is automatically highlights the high sale values and medium sales values, something like that. Okay, the lighter color tells, look here, the lighter blue tells us lower sales. Okay, but still you don't want to if you think these are not helpful, then you can go and configure it here. Effects is define your data rules or logic here. Based on the condition, it will get colored. Okay, the background colors, everything will happen. And the management wants to see the the red thing, so they want to see the red flag, and that is very important. Okay, in that case, if you define the condition, this is very much helpful. It will help them to quickly understand where they need to focus their attention, or where they can spend more energy. Okay, so same properties you can try with this. Okay, and it will work. Okay, but here you cannot have the this one, the show values and row groups. One second, let me just values, and if you go here, yeah, you cannot see, because here you cannot do grouping, right? So that option is not available. Which one? This one, values options. Let us values, and here you don't have options at all. Okay, you don't have options at all. So only this feature is not available, or the property, this property is not available for this. It is not required because in table we cannot convert, we cannot do pivoting. That's what we have seen. Only with matrix we can do pivoting. Converting the columns into rows is called your pivoting. Unpivoting is the opposite. Okay, so that's it. That is pretty much about the table and matrix visual. So they'll ask you in the interview what is the difference between table and matrix visual. The difference is pretty straightforward. The tables can represent data in two-dimensional, whereas the matrix supports multi-dimensional data grid format. And in the case of a table, rows are not fixed. Look here. Here, if I click on this visual, only the columns we can see it. You can fix the columns, you cannot fix the rows. Okay. Whereas in the case of matrix, both rows and columns, you can fix it. Hey, make it this as a row and make this as a column. You can, you can define it like this. Whereas here, the rows are not fixed, only the columns are fixed. Whereas here, both of them are fixed. And the table, it shows a flat data structure. Okay, and whereas here in this case, matrix, the data is automatically aggregated. Okay, look here we can see the total for sales and total profit, everything we can see. But though we have used the same columns here, it shows it overall total here, right? So for each category and each segment, it is not giving me the subtotal and all. Okay, so that is one of the advantages of matrix: aggregation and multi-dimensional rows and columns, or you can fix it here, and users can add dimension as values only here, whereas here you can add the dimensions. What do you mean by dimension? Categorical variable. So the categorical field. So the category is a categorical type, and segment is also categorical type. So these two are text, and along with, see, usually you take any chart, you need a text column and then you need a value column, right? So for example, category is a text column. It will have the categories in it, and the column segment is also category type, right? Because it has distinct values. If you look at the number of distinct values, if you see, it will be less compared to the total number of records in your entire data set. That is what your categorical variable. So to text, you just think that to text. So text is also not the correct word. So to category, category, instead of saying category, dimensional. Okay, because we are in the world of business intelligence, and two-dimensional variables, because the category and segment, these two dimensions add context to these values, the facts. These are the facts. With this, we are able to see the what do you mean by dimension? The category dimension. Furniture adds context to this. And what is 5,999? The category column tells me the context. Hey, this is nothing but furniture. In the furniture category, or in the furniture category under consumer segment, we made this much of sales. Look here, category and segment. This is my segment and this is my category. It gives me the context to my data. So that's why I told you matrix offers to add the dimension, two dimensions and multiple dimensions. You can add as many dimensions as possible in rows and columns. Don't ask me the limitations, I don't remember. But again, it is not advisable just because I said you can add as many dimensions as possible. But if you add too many dimensions, it will be confusing, difficult to interpret. Right? So, but in the real world also, we don't have to add so many dimensions. But other advantage of matrix is the drill down, everything is possible with matrix. As you keep add the dimensions, you can see the drill down functionality, drill up functionality gets enabled, right? Fine. So now you understood the difference between table and matrix, and matrix, we found it very, very useful, right? Because it does aggregation, drill down, drill up, everything you can do it. Next, we will jump into the pie charts.